So the first thing we are going to talk about is leverage. Now, a lot of people misunderstand this thing here. Now, leverage can either make you or break your account size. You know, leverage is very, very crucial, and then you have to know what to do with leverage and then how to use leverage. And then one thing is that you have to think about leverage as if it's money being loaned to you or money being borrowed to you for you to what? To take advantage of the market. Now, initially, just like I was saying in one of our previous videos, is that before you can enter the forex market, first, that was before retail traders entered the space. For you to be able to enter the forex market, you needed that is a minimum or a standard lot size, which is 100,000 units. You should be able to purchase 100,000 units of a particular asset or shares or even currency, depending on the markets that you are going to. But then 100,000 units means that 100,000 US dollars. And then if you are having 100,000 US dollars, I'm not sure that you would even put all into one trade. You get it? But if you had the opportunity to reduce your risk on that 100,000 US dollars, you would do it, right? You would love to risk some and then save some. So this is where in the retail space, they created something called leverage. So let's say that the two of us, we don't have $100,000 even in our account, but we are having, let's say $100. Let's take it that we are having $100. So all of you can see the whiteboard. And then we want to strike it against the leverage of 1 is to 100. Now, the leverage, whereby the broker is giving us a leverage of 1 is to 100, it means that they are multiplying our money by 100. Now, if you strike that same deal, that same $100, let me write this as dollars, by a leverage of 1 is to 500, it means that they are multiplying our money by what? 500. If similarly, if we choose a leverage of 1 is to 200, it means that we are multiplying our money by 200. So the same $100, now we'll have a purchasing power. If we pick a leverage of 1 is to 100, we'll have a purchasing power of what? 10,000 USD. You get it? So it doesn't mean that 10,000 USD will reflect in your trading account, but it only means that you have a purchasing power of what? 10,000 USD. You get it? And then if you multiply, if you pick a leverage of 1 is to 500, you be having the purchasing power of what? 50,000. A purchasing, if you pick a leverage of 1 is to 200, you'll be having a purchasing power of 20,000 if per $100 account. So let's say that you are having a $50 account. Let's say $50. And then we are striking it over a leverage of 1 is to 100, the same 1 is to 100. This is going to equal, who can tell me? Out of these days, I'll do a giveaway, a $100 giveaway for one of the questions that I might ask. You are going to equal a purchasing power. So this is like an imaginary amount, like a purchasing power that you are being granted, but you're not going to see this reflecting in your account. Now, why is this a good thing? Now, the reason why this is a good thing is that now you can place trades which are worth 5,000 US dollars. You get it? Which are worth 5,000 US dollars, but you don't have 5,000 US dollars. You get it? You have 50 US dollars, but you can place trades with, and then now the only problem is that with this thing is that If you can place trades worth $5,000, you can lose trades worth 5,000 years. Means that your $50 can what reduce quickly if you pick a higher leverage. That's the downside to picking a bigger leverage. Now I've seen some brokers giving leverage of 1:1,000, 1:2,000, 1:unlimited. I'm not coming to tell you that it's a very bad thing or avoid it. If you know how to use it to your advantage, then it's a good thing to you. If you don't know how to use it, avoid it. You get it? So this is basically what leverage means in plain terms. Now, the next thing that we are going to look at is a pip. What a pip is. I hope everyone understands the leverage. Any questions? Okay. So I presume there are no questions. Okay, so today when I posted a trade, I was like, we are 50 pips in profit, we are this in profit, we are 20 pips. You'll be seeing this a lot. So what is a pip? What is a pip? This is one of the most interesting questions that I get. So a pip is a unit of measurement. And then basically, one thing that if you've noticed or you have been watching the markets for a longer time, now the prices are written to decimal places. You get it? Most currency pairs are paired out to 4 decimal places. And a single pip is the 4th decimal place. So for example, if you are to take, let's say, the price of GBP USD. Let's look at the price of GBP USD right now. Okay, chat. Can I summarize the leverage? Okay, I'll do that when I'm done. Overall, I'll summarize everything again. So I'll do that for you. Okay. Let's look at the price of GBP USD. Let's take that right now. Oh, oh, okay. I muted myself when I entered, and no one said anything. Oh, you guys.
Yes, I'm actually talking, speaking, typing.
Okay, so let me take the paper again. Okay. Oh. So I was just talking to myself. Okay, I was only saying that a pip. Okay, what was the last thing you guys said? So that I start from there.
We didn't hear anything. No.
You didn't hear
I believe
anything.
the people do.
Okay, so I should start all over. Okay.
Yes, that's all about the people. Yeah.
So I was saying that a pip is a unit of measurement in forex, just like we are having other units of measurement in every other thing. Let's say even for time, we use what seconds to measure the time, and also for distance, we use meters or even kilometers or miles. But in forex, for us to know the change in price of a particular currency, we use what we call the measuring system called pip. As easy as that. So right now, let's say the price of an asset. And most of the time, most currency pairs are paired out to 4 decimal places. And a single pip is the 4th decimal place. So let's say that we are having a currency pair, and then this is the price. So I was telling you guys that for us to see the price of GBP USD, it's over here. So we can take this as the price of GBP USD. It's to our right. But let me just make a much simpler example. Let's say we are having 1.12314. Let's take it at 14 as the price of a particular asset. Now, let's say if we want to know the pip of this particular asset, the pip is the 1. How did I know that is the 1? This one over here. Now, all that I am saying is that the pip is the number after the decimal place, the 4th number after the decimal place. So you are going to count after the decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what a pip is. Now, the 5th number over here, which is this 4 over here, is called a pipette. So this is the pip. So if you are going to mention this is 1 pip. Okay. Similarly, let's take another, let me write another hypothetical price. So let's say the price of a particular asset or a particular currency pair is 0.82. So now where is the pip, or what is the pip in this particular price that I've written? The pip is 4 pips. 4 pips. You get it? Because the number after the decimal place is what the 4th number after the decimal place is what we are regarding as the pip. So after the decimal point, we are having 1, 8, we are having 3, we are having 2, and then we are having 4. 4, which is the 4th number. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So the 4th number is the pip. So we are having 4 pips here. You get it? That is the current price. Now, the only thing that makes it tricky is the movement. Now, when the pip changes, how do you know that the pip has changed? Now, let's take the same price. We want to move it by 1 pip. If we want to move it by 1 pip, this is what we are going to have. .8325. Now it has moved by 1 pip positively. And now if it moves by 1 pip negatively, it's going to be 0.0.8323. Either way, it has moved 1 pip. Are we getting it? Are you guys getting it? So let's take another hypothetical price. Another one. And then now let me ask you guys. Let's say that the price of a particular asset is 2.3548. Now, which number is the pip? Which number is the pip? Which number is the pip?
The 8, right?
8.
8. How many people agrees 8? Okay, we are having 3 people saying that it's 8. So yes, it's the 8. The 8 is the pip. 8 is the pip. Now, if you want to take the 4 and then the 8, how many pips is that? It becomes 48 pips. If you want to take the 5 into consideration, it becomes 548 pips. That is how you count pips. So now let's say that we are having an asset. Let me take a different one again, or a different currency, and then write there. Okay, so now let's use GBP USD. We are watching the chart of GBP USD right now. Let me now ask you, if the current price is at if the current price is at 1.22358, what is the pip? 1.22358. Which one is the pip?
8.
It's 5.
It's the 8.
Okay.
5.
It's
So
5.
we are having 5, we are having 8. Okay, so how many people are saying 5? Let me see. You can just raise your hand. Okay, how many people has, okay, now hands down, all hands down. So we are having 3 people saying 5. How many people are saying 8? All right. Okay, so now let's look at this. I said that a pip is, I said initially the pip is the 4th number after the decimal place. So now after the decimal place, how many numbers do you have? 2 is the first number, 2 is the second number again, 3 is the third number, and then 5 is the 4th number. So 5 becomes the pip. But this moves to the question, the 8 over here, what is it then? The 8 is what we call a pipette. Now, when you see what's the name? A currency pair having or being written the price to 5 decimal places, the 5th number is what we call a pipette. And we don't include that in what counting a pip. So this one, I tricked you guys. I wrote it in 5 to 5 decimal places, not 4. Not 4. So that was a trick. But well done to those who got it correct. But there'll be more opportunities for those who didn't get it correct too, but to really get this correct. So let's go again. Let's move to the movement in pips. So let's say that we are having 0.00001 or 0.001. Like this. This is what I mean. If we move from this to 0.0002, we have moved 1 pip. Are you getting it? Positively, we have moved 1 pip. If you move from 001 again to 0.0003, how many pips have we moved? We have moved 2 pips. just subtract the current value or the current price, which is 0.0003 to minus what 0.001. And then that one you're going to get the pip, the actual pip value. So with this movement, you're getting 2 pips. Now let's say that we have moved from 0.001 to 0.0010. Then it means that we have moved what? 10 pips. Are you guys getting it? Similarly, if we move from 0.0001 to 0.0100, we have moved 100 pips. Are you guys getting the ratio? Okay, yes, Archibald gets it. So let's move on. Now, another question. Let's say we are moving from 0.001 to 0.005. How many pips have we moved? I said for you to know the pips, you take the current price, which is this one over here, the 0.005, and then you subtract the place that you move from to. So it's just going to be, how many pips have we moved? How many pips? How many pips have we moved? Who is going to try?
4 pips.
You have moved 4 pips. That's very good. Very, very good. Four pips. That's very good. Okay. So my next question will go to, should I mention someone's name? Oh, God. Now let's say that we have moved from 0.002 to 0.0020. How many pips have we moved?
18 pips.
18 pips. Wow, that's very, very good. That's very, very good. I thought someone would say we have moved 20 pips. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now we've understood this. Now let me make it a bit more tricky. 1.1120, and then we are moving from 1.1120 to 1.1130. How many pips have we moved?
10 pips.
10 pips.
10 pips, right? That's very good. That is very, very, very good. Okay, so just like I said earlier, most currency pairs are written to what? 4 decimal places. But then not all currency pairs are written to 4 decimal places. Now, a currency pair like GBP JPY is written to usually 2 decimal places. So the Japanese yen currency pairs, they are mostly written to what? 2 decimal places, or even 3 in most cases. So when you have a pair like this, it's the same thing that we are doing. Let's see, let's take the current price. Who can tell me the current price for GBP JPY? That's a Great British Pound against the Japanese yen. So now if you're having a price, now how did I know that this is the price? I just looked to my right side of the screen and then I saw it over there. It's just here. This is the price, the current price of GBP US over here. So now, all I'm saying is that this is written to what? 2 decimal place. So now ignore the third digit. With this broker, it gives me 2, 3 decimal places. Now ignore the third digit after the decimal place. Now, in this scenario, the 6 over here, which is the second digit, becomes your pipette. And then the 3, which is your first digit, becomes your pip. Who gets it? Hope you guys are getting it. So all that I'm saying is that with the JPY pairs, most of the time they are written to 2 decimal places. Now with this, only for JPY pairs. Now with the JPY pairs, all that I'm saying is that with this particular broker, we've written it to 3 decimal places. Now for the first one, you ignore it when it's 3 decimal places. And then the second digit after the decimal place, which is the 6 in this scenario, what do we do to that 6? We consider that as the pipette. And then now we are having the 3 as our pip. So this is 3 pips. And then if there should be a pip movement over here, so right now we are ignoring the 6 and then the 8. Let's say 165.3 point, let me see. Okay, so how many pips have we moved now? Who will try?
2 pips.
2 pips, correct. 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 So most of us are getting this. And then similarly, apart from the JPY pairs as well, we are having gold, which I like to trade a lot. So after we looking at gold, then I think by that time the class will end and then we join again. Then we look at what lot sizes, what stop losses, what take profit is, what buy stop, sell limit, and then buy limit. Oh, okay. So this is the price of gold. So gold is also written to what? 2 decimal places most of the time. And then gold is more like an asset. So it's having a price of 18,000. So this is XAU USD. Now, what a lot of people do not understand is that it's written as a currency pair, gold paired against the US dollar. So all it means is that for you to have this how it looks like. XAU against the USD. Now, the price of this asset is what? 18,035.72. Now, all it means is that you need 18,000, $1,835 for you to get what? 1 gold spot. You get it? So the value of 1 gold spot becomes what? 8,835 USD. You get it? As easy as that. So with this, all that we are looking at is the pip becomes what? The 7. You ignore the 2. And then the pip becomes the 7. Now, if you want to consider it, taking the 2, this 2, when I say the 2, I mean the 5 and then the 7, it becomes 57 pips. And then from using the 3, 5, and then the 7, it looks like 357 pips. So if you move to 18,405.7, How many pips have we moved? Who can get this correct?
1,000.
That would be 1,000. Okay, who else? Who else? Ooh, let me hear from a girl or a boy. It's all boys now. Let's say we've moved from here to here. 18, 4, 5.7. How many pips have we moved? And now, one thing that I want you to know, I want you guys,
It's 100 pips.
it's 100 pips, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you people are saying 100, others are saying 1,000. Now, one last person. Is Akushika here? Let me. I just want to hear from a girl. So let me see if Akushika says 1,000 or 100. Elizabeth's iPhone. Your hand is up. Hello. 100 or 1,000? Which one? Hey, so the girls will not talk. Okay. Let's come to a conclusion then. It's 100 pips. Now, the reason why it's 100 pips is that after the first decimal for gold, after the points, after, when you see your pip, that's the 7 over here. We are talking in ones. Now, the next digit becomes the tens, and then the next one becomes the hundreds, and then this becomes the thousands. You get it? So you just have to be looking at it more and more often. Then you are going to what? Get this in. So now we are going to end the session here, and then we'll join again for the next part where we talk about the lot size, the stop loss, and then the take profits. Please do what to join again just now